Drone here. What's going on, guys? We got the Bugs 3 Mini here. I have the eSheen's canopy on top of it. Just for design, I actually like this better than the Bugs 3 Mini one, but this is the Bugs 3 Mini. We have a nice camera in its grill, and as you can see, we have an antenna coming off the back of it. We have wires out the wazoo. This was just a quick deal here. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing, Drone? Well, I'm going to show you what we're doing here. This also has JST mod to it. So what we're going to do is we are also going to bind this to the jumper. We are going to connect our JST mod. We're going to straighten our antenna first. Going to connect the JST mod here. That'll fire up these motors or the drone itself. And we're just going to turn on our controller here, and as you can see, the lights went steady. We could go ahead and turn those lights off. Now what we're going to do, we are going to put our antenna up like that. We are going to connect this 2S connector here. Let's see, right like that. Come on, work with me here. Bam, just like that. And we should have video. There we go. We got video right here, but what we also have is, let's face it towards me, bamzo, I don't know if you can see right there, 8.0 volts. It should actually be reading more than that. It should be reading 8.4. I don't know why it's reading 8.0, because I did just get done charging this, and it is a fully charged battery, so maybe the device needs to be calibrated. The device I'm using is underneath all these wires. You can't use it, or you can't use it, you can't see it, excuse me. You definitely can use it. It's a cheap device. It's a lot cheaper than that GPS device. But what we're going to do here, we're going to give it a fly and to see how long it'll fly with this. I'm using a mini transmitter. Yesterday I did try it with the TS832, which is much larger. That was way too big. We're gonna go ahead and give this a fly here, and 8.0 volts. I don't know why it's reading that, but let's go ahead and make sure those switches are there. We're just gonna go up. We're just gonna give it a little fly here. Immediately we're at 7.5, 7.6. Let's see how long this will stay in the air. And what I could do is, we could actually record this and, well, we don't need a picture-in-picture. I can see it from here. Maybe you guys can see the display down there as well. We're at 7.4, 7.5, which again, I think the reading's off. The drone itself should know when LVC is, so I'm not even really going to pay attention to that right now. And then when the LVC goes off, we'll take a look here at the voltage, because again, I think the voltage is off slightly. We do have a 1200 milliamp an hour battery in this. Again, JST connection. And ideally, the only reason that this has been done is so we can see voltage, which right away we have LVC kicking. At 7.3 volts, the LVC is kicking. That seems a little premature. On a larger drone, this would be king. But specifically for this drone, you kind of want some type of OSD on it, and this might not be the way to go. Depends on how long this will stay up. This might have a premature LVC like the Bolt B did, just the way that I have it wired. We're looking at 7.2 volts on there. I'm just going to keep flying this. See when it actually drops or makes itself sit down, and then I can look at the time and see what type of time we've got. We have a lot of wires that we could trim to kind of cut a little bit of weight, and also see what type of voltage it says when we're done, and see what it levels out at, because the voltage that it's showing right now despite the fact I think it's off a little bit, is a draw-on voltage. So when this isn't running, it'll probably level out at a higher level as well. Just bring it back this way. I'm looking at 7.1 over there. I think it's an early LVC, and we were like 0.4 off from my voltmeter, my hobby grade charger. So if we were 0.4 off, we might actually be at 7.4 now, because it's at 7 volts. All trial and error here, guys. Trial and error. If we got like a 5-minute flight out of this, then we could judge what the end voltage was. We could judge that we're going to get a 5-minute flight, and then we have some type of LVC on this, which would be great, especially out in the field. It's not obstructing the view of the drone any. We have a nice camera in it. I'm trying to constantly keep it moving. We're not really trying to do a hover test, but this is a low draw test. We're still sitting at 7 volts, and again, if we were 0.4 off, I'm thinking we're at 7.4. Now it's showing that we are at 6.9. So if we were 0.4 off, we are at 7.3. And with the way the drone's flying, I don't feel much of a loss of power here. So we'll see. It's definitely a long LVC. It's definitely Bolt B syndrome. we're gonna say a Bolt B syndrome, because again, I can go up and down and feel that it's still very responsive. I still have voltage. We're sitting at 6.9 again. I'm thinking that's 7.3. Beepity beep beep beep. This drone's related to the Roadrunner. Beep beep. Younger kids are like, well, what's the Roadrunner? I mean, I'm good with a LVC chirp like this. I'm good with an early LVC chirp if we're gonna get a decent flight time, which it seems we are. It really seems we are. And again, we're sitting at 6.8, so I'm thinking we're at 7.2. Because I know the voltage was 8.4 when I started at, and it calculated it at 8. And if the LVC wasn't so long and wasn't so premature, there we go. I'm going to cut the motors off. Bamzo. So right now it's sitting at 7 volts, which I bank is actually 7.4. And I will confirm that. I'll confirm that on my hobby grade charger. But if you guys can see here, I have it facing something black. That way, right there. 7.1. Dude, we're sitting at 9 minutes. If that got an 8-minute flight time, despite the fact that LVC, that's great. And here, we're leveling out. We're at 7.1. Let's go ahead and we'll unplug the drone from this. Maybe the drone unplugged itself. Let's see. The drone might have just called it quits. My connection here is still there. Okay, so I guess my connection was, maybe that's why it went. Maybe my connection was loose, and maybe that's why I got a low voltage. But we'll go ahead and disconnect that. We'll disconnect that. And without that connected, I'm still sitting. Let me if you guys could see here, 7.1 upper left, and it shows flight time 8.43. So that's probably pretty close, the run time, because I probably connect this and we probably took off. 8-minute flight with this? I think that's a lot better than what we were getting with the stock batteries. I really do. And we got a nicer camera than anything that I've put on it. So I think this was a success. I think it was a success. Look in the comments. I will put the exact voltage, what my hobby grade charger says it is. I bet it's above 7.1. I'm J Drone, guys. If you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them down below. I'll get at you. I promise you that. We got a lot more coming. I flew the Bebop 2 today, but it's a heavy edit. I don't know if I'll get it out today or tomorrow.